What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to take a look at the brand new SD Cross Silhouette RX-78-2 Gundam. So this guy, as we saw in the unboxing, comes with the 2-pack. It actually comes with the SD frame and the CS frame. So this is the cross silhouette side over here. You can also get the regular SD frame by itself without this, and actually that's part of my giveaway. So you see that right up here if you haven't yet. But on the front here, we got the frame select thing there. We got cross silhouette system. You get an image of the SD version here, cross silhouette version here. You can see the difference. And yeah, it's a pretty cool box art. I like how they got the blue here, red here to let you know, hey, it's something different. You also got some reflection of lights going on there. Bandai down there. Bandai 2018 down here. Alright, we come to the bottom and you get the version here. SD Cross Silhouette Series, choose your thing, beam saber, beam rifle, shield, various armaments are included. You got familiar SD proportions, you got the SD frame, and you can see the SD frame there, you can see the CS frame right there, changing proportions, yes. You can come over here and you got tall proportions, wide articulations, that's pretty cool, choose your frame. And you got articulated elbow joints, articulated knee joints, and joints in the elbows and knees are articulated. You're kind of doubling up there, buddy. And come around here, you got a repeat of the box art frame set, because of course it is a thing together. BandaiHobby.net, and of course SDCS, all the things. I do have more of these coming sometime very soon. And you come around here, and you got, it looks colorful just by putting it together. That's such a weird thing. You got the kind of exploded view of the head right there. It says modeling, comes unpainted, no kidding. Gimmick! So you got the frame, you got the two different eye sets you can go with there. So you got the more SD eyes, or the more Gundam-esque eyes. And I believe that's just showing you can actually put the shield on the back. And then you got, right there, do not stick a SDCS in your 3-year-old's eyes. It'll probably hurt, although it'd be pretty cute. And a little guy with the toilet. And come over here and you got 1,400 yen. So this is actually fairly affordable considering you get both in the same box. I believe the regular one without it is only like 1,000 yen, something like that. It's actually very, very cheap, so about 10 bucks. This was about 16. And you got the illustration is by Hiroyuki Mataguchi and Susumu Imaishi. Nice. New artist. Gotta love that. Twin frame set. Still upside down. No build montage for this one, guys, so let's just get right to it. Brand new Gundam style. Cross silhouette. Alright guys, here we have the SDCS Gundam RX-78 out here and looking very cool. And I love the little SD proportions. You guys can go check out all my SD reviews, though most of those are actually Musha style ones, but this one is not. I'm really hoping they do new Musha styles. One thing you guys will notice right off the bat is that this guy does not look plain Jane anymore, because you can see there are water slides all over this guy. Nice metallic-y water slides. Those are actually the RG Unicorn like campaign set. I got a couple sets of those from my buddy at Hobbytown, and I used those on here. That actually took longer to apply all the water slides than to build this guy. Individually, like you start out, you can build either the SD form or you can build the CS form. It tells you parallel instructions. So you start out with this, and honestly, it's not difficult, and I'll show the changeover in a little bit. But as it goes, it took me less than an hour to build this guy, and then it took me the rest of the afternoon to do all the water slides. So you've got the ones on the chest right here, some individual markings, even got a little cockpit sticker right there. You got the RX-78-2 sticker right there. You got the white base 102 sticker there. Obligatory little warnings on the forearms. You got the same kind of markings there. And I was going by the 3.0 marking list to try to make it happen, because obviously the stickers I was using are not made for this guy. You even get a little warning sticker right up there. You got all these on the sides of the head. I think for the most part it worked out really, really well. You also get a big old camera sticker fore and aft of the head. But one thing that's really neat about this guy is the detail work. You also get a sticker right there. I wasn't going to paint that. I'm okay with it. But the way things are molded, so you got a yellow piece here. We'll see it better when we take it all apart. This is actually coming through the white part. Same thing on the back. Same thing here for the vents. I believe this chest part and the vents are, I don't think they're connected, I can't remember, but either way, they're their own pieces. You're not having to do a lot of painting on this. In fact, I didn't do any painting on this whatsoever. I just panel lined it and then added the stickers. Even the vents here, these are actually slotted parts here, and it's actually a graded vent on the backside. So, I mean, it's actually very, very well done. And one thing I'll show you back here on the beam sabers on the backpack, it's a little thing. These come with a rod attaching the two of them, but if you don't use it, you can remove, not this way, you have to take the backpack off as such. You can see right there, they're just little ball joints. Focus. I don't know what I want to look at. It's not focusing where I want it to, but that way you can totally remove one so it actually looks like he's holding a beam saber individually. You even got a sticker back here on the butt. So I had honestly a very, very good time making this guy. In this mode, because we'll go over accessories here in a second, you got a ball joint mounted head, so he can rotate, he can look forward, he can look back. He's on a little bitty hinge right back there in the neck, so it actually has a lot better articulation than any SD before him. The shoulders are ball joint mounted right there. You got kind of a long peg, so you can extend it out a little bit, get some more movement. You can reach up about that high. The forearms, the biceps, right? The bicep forearm, basically, it's a short SD arm. Just ball joint mounted, so it can swivel like so. You can rotate, no elbow joint, and then a very long peg for the wrist, which, by the way, got the back of the hand, but that looks pretty cool. You do get a ball joint in the middle, allows you a little bit of up and down, definitely a lot of swivel, and it's not tucked up in there effectively, but it's about as good as it's going to get. Legs are ball joint mounted up at the top. You do get a very minor, oh wait, no you don't, I'm sorry. It looks like there's an E-joint, I apologize. That's the other version. Now, I did notice that after going back and forth between modes, some of the ball joints are getting a little bit loose. The ones in the feet are actually okay. You can get a decently wide stance like that, and of course he has his giant feet. But I love the way that these ankle armor are actually ball joint mounted up here instead of trying to be attached back here at the ankle. So you get a lot of foot pivot, and then you can change which way your armor goes. But this little guy's actually surprisingly articulate for what he is. Gotta love that. But real quick, we'll go over the weapons he does come with. So you get the quintessential rifle, and these are stickers in here for the actual like camera reticle targeting scopy thing. It's just two half stickers that don't look like they should go in there, but they do. Surprisingly good. And you got rotation here, you got rotation here, no biggie. Straight handle for holding the gun, and he can point it at whatever is over there. Yay for that. You also get the quintessential shield, which did get a white base 102 water slide right there. Nice silvery thing. I need to work on top coating this. One thing that is amazing, this right here is two stickers. The whole triangle, star. I'm just thinking it's angular. It's two halves. So you got the top half and you get the bottom half. You line it really, really nicely, and then the red part sandwiches down over it, getting rid of the extra seams. Unless you look at it from like underneath, that is actually incredibly good. The handle is mounted like very cleverly like this in kind of storage mode. So you can knock him over and mount that on the back like I showed on the thing. I really like that mode. It's pretty cool. Or you take the handle off like so, and you got a peg. And you can peg it in, like right here. And you use the forearm connector there. So you go this way. I know it's backwards. I know it's backwards. I can hear everybody in the comments. It's backwards! I know it's backwards. But that's perfectly fine like that. So you can have him holding his gun, holding his shield. Like I said, this arm is a little bit loose. Kind of sucks. Ball joints can be tightened up though. However, you do get these beam sabers here on the back. You do get an actual beam saber, as we saw in the unboxing. And you get this guy. It's pretty cool. It's molded in one piece like we saw, and I did paint this using the Gundam marker airbrush set. And this is just red metallic Gundam marker. All I did was mask off the bottom and just good to go. Actually, I did sand it just a hair to hopefully make the paint stick. I think it looks pretty good for what it is, considering it took all of 5 minutes. I think it's pretty neat. So you grab that out, you pull the gun. The one that sucks is there's no weapon storage for the gun. I wish it had a plug like on the back skirt or something like that. But you can get in holding his beam saber like so. And as I stated before, you pop off the backpack, pop out beam saber, and there you go. So now he's holding only the one beam saber. Shoulder armor tends to pop off a little bit. It does that. Just gotta get used to it. And if you're used to the way normal SDs work, or current SDs I should say, this guy does not function exactly like that. So it's a little bit different, but a lot more fun. Alright, so now for the rest of the gimmick of this line. It is the cross silhouette frame. And the cross silhouette comes just like this. Mind you, you have to build it. It's not hard, but you just have to assemble it a little. But you do get the upper torso, bottom. You got legs, where you've got some articulation in the knees. You got ball joint feet. The feet are exactly the same. The chest is almost exactly the same. But you get way, way more articulation. And the fact that you can open it up like this and see the frame itself, the head gets a little bit more reach out of it. The shoulders are on this ridiculous butterfly joint. So you can pull this out and then get way back or way forward. And then you get your ball joint mounted shoulder. Once you get the same ball joint mounted shoulder there like you would on the regular guy, but you get a little bitty elbow joint down here. And this is, of course, the bare... I don't know if this is technically the white frame, light gray frame, I don't know. I like that it comes with the gym head for no apparent reason. I guess this leaves you open for making a gym down the line. As far as I know, at least right now, they have no gym designs out. They just have the, this guy, the crossbones, and the nightingale of all things, which I really want to get those if I'm honest. But as it stands, this is your cross silhouette frame. And you can see the frame alone is taller than the normal SD guy. So the only real way to do this is to completely blow this thing apart. So I'm going to set this guy back down here. And I'm going to try to time lapse taking this thing apart real quick. Alright guys, now that we got that all blown apart, what we have here is the bare normal SD frame. You can see right there imprinted on it, it says SD. It's really hard to, there we go. But the rest of the armor and everything is blown off, and this is the way he is supposed to be. Now, if you come over here and you yoink the gym head off and the gym feet off, we can get started on the rest. But this is the basic like SD gym. And I know people are going to ask the question, hey, can you take the armor and stuff off of your regular SDs and put it on here? As far as I know, no. That wasn't even in the instructions or anything like that. It would take a lot of modifications because they aren't built the same. But while we have both frames here together, you can see the major differences in articulation. This is a solid hunk, essentially, between the top chest area and the shoulders. It's all one solid piece. Hips are basically the same thing. They're fixed, only coming up to the bottom, whereas this is much more articulate, including thigh rotation on top of actual ball joint legs and stuff like that. But I'm going to set this guy off to the back, and we'll go ahead and build the Gundam as it is in the cross silhouette form. So we'll start from the legs and work our way up. And it's pretty simple, honestly, because you can see how the legs are shaped a certain way, so the armor goes on a certain way. You just line it all up, squeeze it on, like so. Very simple, plug the foot on. Same thing on the opposite side, like so. Sometimes they're a little bit wonky. Getting the, as you guys could probably see, I was having a hard time getting those leg armors apart. It does that sometimes. Now, as for the crotch, that's going to take a little bit of work. So we got to take the torso apart, just briefly. And you take the yellow part, and that's why I said you can see how it goes together. You just square that up right through there. Take the front, slide it on like so. That's actually very satisfying. Do the back, do the same thing. This one, I really do appreciate this. Also, I have no idea where the red paint came from that is on this. It's right there on the edge. I wasn't painting anything red when I did this. Maybe it was a mild overspray or something. No, because I didn't have it in here when I was painting. So no idea how that happened. All right, torso, very simple. You take the lower red section, tuck it right up in there, kind of align that front. You got this big peg, you got that big hole, you got a thing going on right there. You just slap it together. And then for the back, you do the same but opposite. Now the only thing that does suck is the back of the collar is not molded in yellow. So if you really want to go ahead and paint that, by all means. I ain't gonna tell you no. I just didn't want to do it because I'm lazy. Just be honest. And then you slap the torso together. And you can see it snapped in a lot better than the other one did. So that one wasn't in all the way, if we are honest. The arms, very simple. Slide the armor in place. And you'll know you're there because the elbows will line up. And basically that just holds on with friction, and then the fist itself is actually what's holding the armor on other than friction. So very nice Gundam there. Slap the shoulder armor on. It just kind of lines up roughly like so. And this arm is actually kind of, there we go. Do that like so. And y'all saw I put the backpack back together briefly. So it's very easy. Now with the head, you do have the options. You have the SD style eyes, and sadly they only come with the front facing ones. Like they're only looking forward, like, hey. But just like on the normal SDs, you can actually make some adjustments if I can pull it out. The hard part is actually getting this part out, if I'm honest. If you have to, and this isn't necessary, but mine seems to be difficult, you can pop off the cheek parts, and it'll give you a lot more access to go inside there, and you get the Gundam eyes. Something very anime about that. So, regular Gundam face, Gundam eyes, and you just pick this up like you would any other SD, ow, and flip it around. And these eyes are actually constructed the same way all these other things are. Black piece, yellow piece comes through, and then they sit down on top of the red piece. It is so wonderful. And you just have this little peg hole right there is where that plugs in. Make sure it's on there all the way. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the way that the head comes together here. So you got the cheek piece, just goes on like so. And he's looking at you. Hello. All right. Alright, and then you've just got your polycap there. Squish it down, and there is your new badass little dude. Look at that. That is a sexy, tiny Gundam. And you can go ahead and give him his shield. This time actually plug it in right, like so. Do that number. That's pretty cool. And you can give him his gun, and he's ready for some action. And you can pull these shoulders way, way out to get some crazy articulation. That's nothing the other one could do at all. And then even throw in, actually I rotated the shield too far, even throw in some of that amazing elbow bend, and you can do that. You can even mess with the legs. You can actually kick forward. He can kick forward that far, he can kick back that far, and actually rotation at the thigh, you can go all the way around. But why would you? We've never had to say that with an SD ever. The knee is almost pretty much a 90-degree bend. The foot articulation is exactly the same. Torso does rotate. If you pick it up, you can totally get a little bit more out of there. The head is mildly more articulated than the neck, but not too much. It's mostly in the arms and legs where you're gaining your real advantages here. And it's just phenomenal. Like, why did it take so long for us to get an SD that can do this? I get that they were going for a super deformed thing, but if you look at certain SD figures, not models, they all have articulation and stuff like this. They have actually real range of movement and things. So this was just Bandai finally kind of catching up with the times, so to speak. But I love this thing. And of course, here's your original SD frame for comparison. So you can see he's short, stubby. Mind you, the gym head is kind of sizable. You also got the beam saber, if you're feeling lucky. Alright, so real quick comparison. There he is next to SD Night Gundam. Here he is next to Wally, because who cares about that? And here he is next to at least my inspiration, the RX-78 3.0. Who doesn't want to stand at all? The joints suck. And also, I did finally put the yellow LED in his head, though you can probably barely see that. And also, he just doesn't want to stand. Here we go. Actually, you can see it pretty clear. So I'm digging that, though I don't have an R or an HG version, so I need to get an HG Revive. But actually, yeah, the LED looks pretty neat. But this thing is actually very, very cool. So, I mean, whether you go with the original frame like that, or you want to go with the CS frame, I suggest going with the CS frame. It's very worth it. I mean, like, cost-wise, it costs less than a regular SD for the most part. Details are very, very nicely done. Like, the molded detail here on the helmet is really good. Same thing here. The actual Vulcans coming through are a separate piece inside the head. It's so friggin' cool. So even if you keep it in its SD form, it's pretty cute. If you keep it in the CS form, which I believe, like, we're almost adding an all-new class. And I dig that. I dig that a lot. So I definitely suggest picking this guy up. Now, if you guys want to become part of the Patreon, you can totally do that right here on the screen, like John, Andy, Steve, Kolby, and TheKrowSama. And every little bit goes to help the channel and keep this thing moving forward. If you want to help out the channel in other ways and get a cool Shoky shirt, and hopefully like to show off that you're part of the Shoky Nation, you can totally get a Shoky shirt right here on the screen, also in the description down below. But that's going to be it for this review, guys. And remember, as always, keep on building.